So recently, Daniel Bryan has been getting backlash for saying this about his WrestleMania moment.
I main evented WrestleMania 30 with WWE, and honestly, it doesn't mean that much to me. My sister and my niece got to come into the ring, right? But I was about to marry my wife the following Friday, and they wouldn't let her come down to the ring. They didn't want her to be in the thing. And then on top of that, it wasn't just that. It was like I was going through a ton of neck pain and all these other things. So these things that seem like cool moments to a viewer, there's all this other stuff going on in a wrestler's life or in a performer's life or in what that could make that moment not as valuable to them as it is to the people viewing.
In all honesty, I don't think what he's saying deserves as much anger as it's producing, but Daniel Bryan winning the world title at WrestleMania 30 was a huge moment, and him saying it doesn't mean much to him is understandably a bit jarring, especially considering the amount of things that had to change and happen for him to even win the main event like that. Think about the domino effect of 2014. Daniel Bryan had to, in real life and in storyline, be so over that he overcame Batista coming back, slated to win the world title. He wrote himself into the main event, beat Triple H before that, and even Punk leaving the company played a role in that all coming together. But if he was frustrated by Brie Bella not being able to come down and celebrate, and he was in pain and then needed surgery, you can see why it may be more of a painful memory. It certainly comes across as ungrateful and unappreciative, but I don't think he's actually trying to be. At the end of the day, wrestling is an art form, and you can't tell a wrestler to enjoy one of their paintings more because it meant something to you. Then, Vince McMahon was involved in a car crash last week. Coincidentally, it was right at the same time as Hulk Hogan was about to die, like literally the hour before. I can't imagine the scenes on the timeline if Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Hulk Hogan died on the same day. It would probably look a lot like the end of Return of the Jedi. The woman involved in Vince McMahon's car crash said she's lucky to have survived the incident. She also claimed that McMahon was driving at 80 to 90 miles per hour and was being followed by an unmarked state trooper. Which, by the way, still insane that we're letting him drive a car at his age. And when you look at the images of the car, it was pretty mangled up. McMahon was issued a misdemeanor summons for reckless driving and following too closely, resulting in an accident. He will have to appear in court later this month. Then, in Hulk Hogan death news, Brooke Hogan has commented on why she wasn't in attendance for the Hogan tribute salute in WWE. On Instagram, she would say, "For those of you giving me crap for not attending my dad's tribute, WWE did not extend an invite." I don't know what's more insane, the fact they invited Nick or the fact people are like, "Well, why didn't you just show up?" Yeah, man, let me just go ahead and show up to a WWE show backstage unattended. I'm sure they'll let me in. Also, in what the hell going on over there in Florida news, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has declared today, August 1st, 2025, as Hulk Hogan Day in Florida. I don't even really have the words. I'll be real. I don't know. I don't know what the hell going on in Florida. I don't know. Then Cody Rhodes talked about leaving AEW and how he felt disrespected.
There's clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect and love. And in the end, the way I kind of see it is, if I felt disrespected ever at WWE, that's one thing. That's a company that was built, look at this glass, you know, that's the Yankees. That's the flagship of it all. If I ever felt there, you know, I was a number on a sheet maybe, but feeling disrespected at something I built with my friends and that we built, feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it. And I think Brandy and I both, I'm so blessed to have her. It was one of those where it was, it. I did way more here than you think. And you're going to find out the moment I'm out the door. I don't believe in like the cold-hearted, backstabby type of revenge. The greatest revenge on earth is success. And I felt like we were sitting on something wonderful, something great, a huge, potentially with what I was doing with the American Nightmare, as a bad guy, as a good guy, as something in between. We're sitting on something magic. And if I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt, Nick, and Kenny, built, then buddy, I'm going elsewhere.
I think the entire thing was a mess, but it ended well for both parties in the long run. Cody wrote himself into a hole in AEW, and him getting booed while also never being able to compete for a world title again was never going to work long term. But I do see people trying to downplay his involvement in the creation of AEW. I think that's a bit of revisionist history, and that's a step too far. Because anyone who watched BCE or followed the Elite pre-AEW knows he had as much of a hand in the creation as the others. Then, Triple H has just passed the 3-year mark since taking over WWE. So I'm gonna pose the question to you. How have you found his reign as head honcho so far? I think it was an incredibly strong start, which has tempered out a bit. Still plenty to enjoy week to week, but we're not exactly in a hot era right now. And a woman who was brought back right at the start of this reign was Dakota Kai, who is now a free agent. Then, Triple H and co spoke at the White House this week for Donald Trump's executive order signing.
Since I was 14, this has been such an important part of my life. Health, fitness, sports, nutrition, all of it. I think learning that at a young age sets you up for success in life. And without it, you're at a lesser place for it. So I look forward to the opportunity to do this. I look forward to the opportunity to help make our youth healthy, help get them engaged in sports, and let them learn what it takes to be successful in life. So thank you very much for the honor. Thank you.
He also recreated his iconic entrance at the White House too.
Donald, nothing personal, but I'm going over next election.
Then, Cody Rhodes teased what his heel turn would look like.
A heel turn from you, like we saw from Cena, because that was surprising.
Very surprising. You know, I always like to say in what we do, never say never. And the more you're in this, it's probably really likely. But I think my version of a heel is just way too, I don't know. I wouldn't have music. The song would go away. The entrance would go away. I'd try to get myself canceled. I don't know if it would even translate. Yeah,
you're hilarious.
Yeah, never say never, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I saw a tweet somewhere where it was like, if he just leaned into the Cody Raheem Rhodes allegations, he could do this quite easily. And I was like, oh. Then, Bea Priestley was on Saraya's Rule Breakers podcast. She talked about Toni Storm telling her about the Timeless character before debuting it on television.
Timeless phenomenon that she created, like, really fucking catapulted it. So, you know, she's one of the best promos in the game now.
Oh, 100%. And I was at her house when she was still thinking this idea, and she pitched it to me, and she was like, B, you know, I'm essentially the modern day Marilyn Monroe. Why don't I just do it? Why don't I just do this on TV?
Funny. Yeah.
She's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do this and see what happens. I'll be timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah.
And like, it's just her being silly and fun, but that's how she is all the time. So I'm like, I'm so happy whenever I see her doing this silly, like, comedy stuff. And I don't think people realize being actually funny and doing wrestling series, it's so hard.
It's so hard.
Comedy wrestling is so difficult to get right. And I'm so happy because she's obviously, everyone knows how talented she is as a wrestler in ring, but I'm so happy that she's found this, because it's like she's not just stuck in that one box of being a good wrestler. She's also funny. She can do characters, she can do promos, she can do dress silly little gimmicks, and she, you know, she'll just, like, whenever I see her, she'll be like, B, I'm thinking about saying this next week, and I'm like, oh, throw that in. She was like, do you know what, maybe I will.
You sounded just like her. I love it.
It has now also been confirmed that Punk Gunther will main event SummerSlam Night 1. England winning the Euros last weekend, Punk winning his first world title in 13 years after putting Gunnar to sleep. We are up. But wait, is Seth gonna... No, I'm not speaking it into existence. Nope. Then, the relationship between Travis Scott and the WWE is at an all-time low. Both parties have had a, quote, full falling out, and this is why it is open season for WWE talent to knock the rapper. And then in Cody Rhodes' appearance on Hot Ones this week, he commented on when Travis Scott burst his eardrum and gave him a black eye.
He's gracing us with his presence. At wrestling right now, again, we're getting all these fun folks, but years ago, it wasn't that easy. And now here he comes. I want you to come back, man.
Yeah, right. Hospitality.
Our house is your house. You know,
That's
maybe.
right.
Then, the Rhea Ripley and CM Punk press talk continues. In this interview, they had a segment where they had to FaceTime someone that would instantly pick up right away, and it's hilarious.
I am going to attempt to FaceTime my daughter, Roxanne. Hey, she's got to answer, right? Judgment Days. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, keeping it in the family. Tag champs. Let's see. The disrespect. The disrespect. Oh. Hey! Say hi. 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 What's happening, kid?
Nothing much. I'm just getting stuff done around the house.
Oh, wow. Exciting. We're doing press, and they asked me who on the roster that if I just FaceTimed out of the blue would definitely answer. And I said my daughter.
I was hoping you were with AJ. That's why.
I'm with Rhea, chopped liver over here. Yeah. I'll always have that over you, though. You never know. If I'm calling you, I could be with AJ. You never know.
Then, not only did Jelly Roll reveal that SummerSlam won't be his final match or appearance for the company, but Drew McIntyre was having some travel issues late last week getting back from the UK. But he has shared that he is now back in the US, and such, the tag match is back on at SummerSlam this weekend and will go ahead as planned.
Really wasn't looking good. It's not felt good. I've seen Miz, a little selfish of you, offering to take my place. Mike the Mizark, is that the last name? Missionary Mike? It doesn't matter. I've got an update for you, Mike. The answer is absolutely
hell no! I think I'm a partner with the Miz, bro. I got a Scottish Warrior, stupid!
Jello, you tried to get me stuck in the UK. I know you're behind it, but this guy's got more powerful friends than you. He sent the jet, and it's Saturday. Come on, Jello. You and Randy are screwed.
I would have said that more like, but yeah.
Also, in We Lost news, Julia will be defending the US Championship on SmackDown against Zelina Vega, which is not SummerSlam. Why is she not on SummerSlam? Then Triple H praised the WWE women's locker room on WWE Unreal, and he's so right.
And he goes on list.
And look, to be honest, when you go down to the PC, there's fucking 5 women that are great for every guy. It's like they come in 6 months later, they're like fucking really good. The guys are like just starting to figure shit out. They're just way smarter than us.
The women's wrestling game right now is stacked, and that's not a knock on the men at all, but it's more so speaking to the women's evolution that now every single rung of the wrestling ladder has a roster that can carry the brand. Y'all just wait though, Xena Sterling, I'm telling you, that's one to watch right there, Vic. Then, Charlotte Flair was on Complex to rank the top 5 greatest matches of her career. She had her WrestleMania 39 match against Rhea Ripley, the ever underrated Ronda Rousey match from Survivor Series in 2018, along with the ever controversial ending, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka from Mania 34.
Number 2 would be Becky Lynch, Survivor Series. We've been best friends. I don't know. It's like the ever best friends, enemies. We go back and forth because iron sharpens iron. The number 1 match goes to where I won my first title, the NXT Women's Championship against Natalya.
Happy, joy.
Happened. I don't know if I would be the character Charlotte Flair that I am today. Before, I was just Ric Flair's daughter, and that night was a breakout moment for me, and I think I earned the respect of my peers, the fans, really that match and the emotion in winning my first title, and Natty being the veteran that she is. It was just why I'm here today.
Then, as you may have seen this week on social media, the hashtag #WeWantMelo movement has begun. Fans expressing their distaste with his treatment over the course of his main roster run, and rightfully so. I really enjoyed his match with Damian Priest on SmackDown recently, but ending in a disqualification will never not be so lame. I'm a full co-signer of this movement because Hunter, we want Melo to be shining. He's him. Then, in Where in the World is Brie Bella today, Brie shared that Bryan Danielson working for AEW is a roadblock in her returning to WWE.
Something that's important in these solo episodes is to really open up to all of you what I'm going through so it can help some of you. But when I look at that, I know my roadblock is the fact my husband is with the rival company. And, you know, for some people, it makes them uncomfortable at WWE thinking I would be there when my husband's with AEW. And you know what? That's okay. I've kind of looked at that roadblock as people have the right to feel. If people feel uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. And that's okay. They have that right. Does it bum me out at times that I wish their feelings were different? Absolutely. But it doesn't make me angry and it doesn't make me bitter. It makes me be like, that right there is a sign that I'm supposed to be staying in my soft girl era.
which I find ridiculous, but when Bryan is super team AEW nowadays, I can see why they'd be hesitant. Although Nikki Bella is back and Raw would be even better in Brie mode. Then in the least surprising news of all time, it turns out Def Rebel AI generates some of their theme songs. I mean, really, I'm shocked. No wonder so many of them are a 2-pack of cheeks. Then my glorious Total Divas turned 12 this week, with many of the former cast like Natalya and even Ariane calling for a reboot once again. And yeah, we're still on that agenda. I think I'm more optimistic now than I've ever been. I know it's coming, it's just a matter of when. GTA 6, the World Cup, and new Total Divas episode.